Okay, this is part 50 of my community site tutorial series. In the last video, we added our form and everything to request it, and we started our request tutorial page itself, but we're going to finish it up in this video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set a width for our username and title area, and we need to make our title area a link. So right here for our username, our TD, I'm going to say width equals, and let's say 50 pixels, or not 50, sorry. Let's go with 75 for now. And let's set, for the title, let's set it to 300 pixels. Whoa. 300 pixels. And down here, I'm going to add in a, for our likes and dislikes, I'm going to center it. So align equals center. Align equals center. So if we upload, so uploaded, refresh, so it extends this out a lot, and I think I'm going to extend this to about 100 pixels and extend this more. So this to 100, and I'm going to put this to 400. So we refresh, so it gives us a lot more space in here. So yeah, so we can link to a profile, the person who posted. Let's go ahead and just stop that. So what we need to do is we need to make our title a link itself. So our title, put in anchor tags, and it's going to be a link to, let's see, our site slash request underscore put question mark ID equals, and our $ID. So after we upload and refresh, it's now a link. So we can now update it, or click it, and it'll take us to our page here. Now on the page, on the request page itself, where we have our everything here, right below or right above our requires for our connect, I'm going to put in a variable, say get ID equals $_ get ID, and right here I'm going to say if get ID, and then I'm going to say else, and then all of this stuff is going to be inside of our else, except for right here. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to indent it to make it look a little bit nicer. So if we upload and refresh, so you see now we're not displaying anything because we're on this individual page. So we click it, take it to the page, and it doesn't show anything. So inside of here, we want to put in our query. And our query is going to be select all from request underscore tut, where ID equals, and our get ID variable. We want to put in our num rows, make it our query, and we're going to say if num rows equals 1, so if it's found in the database, but if it's not, we're going to put in an else. We're going to echo you have provided an invalid request ID. I don't know, whatever. So if it's there, then we want to have our get all of our information. So what I'm going to do is to save some time, just copy it from down there. There we go. Get rid of our while. So just like that, that'll get all of our information and everything. So we're gonna put in, we're just gonna echo everything here. We're gonna echo h2 tags and h2, and this is going to be our title. And just because, I'm just gonna make it a link back to itself. So href equals site slash request underscore tut question mark ID equals $ID. So that'll give us our title, and let's echo the content. Now, to make it so our content will show as show our lines, we need to say where we get it from our row. We need to say NL2BR. So NL2BR, new line to break, and then we need to wrap it in parentheses. So just by going by this, if we upload and go ahead and refresh the page, we have our title, and this is test content and new line. So everything there is showing. So obviously that's working. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inside of a div. So div, I'm going to say style equals margin tack left. I'm going to say 10 pixels. And the reason I'm doing this is just to kind of indent it a little bit. So end div. So that'll just indent it a little bit. So here we want to echo. Let's see. Okay, we'll say total likes colon $likes, and then we'll say, or better yet, we'll put this inside of a table. So end td, and you're probably confused now. Let's go ahead and put a table. Let's say tr td ntr and table. Duplicate the line, and we'll say total dislikes, and we'll change that to our dislikes there. So if we upload and refresh, so total likes, total dislikes. I'm gonna put in cell spacing of 5 pixels, cell padding of 5 pixels, and upload, refresh. So it kind of just spaces it over a little bit more. And I'm gonna change this margin here to 20 pixels, so it'll kick it over even more. So refresh, so it kicks it over even more. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this stuff bold here, total dislikes and likes. So bold, whoops. So upload and refresh. So now it's bold, so it sticks out even more. So now that we have that, what we're gonna do is we need to create like our buttons to actually be able to like or dislike a post. Now obviously this is really simple, really rudimentary. There's really no style to this page at all, and I probably won't put any style to it, at least for now. So yeah. So after we have our content, what I'm going to do is we're going to have our form equals, okay, so oops, didn't want to do that. So when you create our form, so form action equals $site slash request underscore tut question mark ID equals $ID, method equals post and form. Now I'm not going to create a table for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a button, say input type equals button. Name equals equals like btn, and we're going to say value equals like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another form. I'm just going to copy this and paste it, and we're going to change it to dislike and dislike button. So yeah, so we're going to say if $_ underscore actually I'm going to get variable, say like button equals $_ underscore post like btn and dislike button. So we're going to say if like button or dislike button else echo, and this is just going to be our form. And our form is going to have an extra line break in front of it. So if our like button or dislike button, what we're going to do is we're going to say $IP equals, or no, $IP equals $_ underscore server remote underscore address ADDR. So we're going to say query equals MySQL underscore query select all from, and if we need to go ahead and create this database table, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this page, then we'll create the table. And this is going to be request underscore tut underscore choices, I don't know, where ID equals $ID and IP equals $IP, and we want to say num rows equals MySQL underscore num underscore rows. So we're going to say if, oops, there it is, else echo. Okay, so we're going to say if $, num rows equals 0. So our num rows is checking to see if this IP address has already liked or disliked this particular post, or whatever you want to call it. And if it has, it's going to return a 1. And when we want to say you have already liked / or liked or disliked this request, and we're not going to display the form. But if it is, then we're going to say MySQL underscore query, and this is going to say insert into, and I'm just going to copy this, insert into request underscore choices values, and this first one is just going to be random ID. The next one is going to be the ID of the post. The next one is going to be the IP of the user, and then a choice variable which we're about to create, and then we're going to put a date that we're going to create. So I'm going to end this video here. In the next video, we will hopefully finish up the request